Well, excited is not the word. Extremely excited. Could be a good combination of words. Whichever one you look at, I'm looking forward to my guest. Tonight's going to be chatting to the chairman of Chippa United, Chippa Mpengesi. He's live in studio for the very first time. He's coming through to our Prime Media House and our Prime Media House studios. He's excited. Also tell you a little bit of something I've observed about Chippa Mpengesi. But you can be interactive with us, 060-708-0484, 060-708-0484. But there's still a small matter of going where?
Robert Marawa
Get more attention again this weekend.
and Tando Manana
That's where we're getting it now.
take over the streets of France.
That flies in for the Rainbow Nation.
Catch Marawa Sports Worldwide live at the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals during France versus the Box and Ireland versus New Zealand, featuring all the behind the scenes.
Was the second try.
The box preparation, the exclusive interviews, and the all-day live crossings on various shows. Don't miss the action-packed reaction on Monday, 16 October, with all the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals review and reaction.
Got it for South Africa.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Rugby World Cup takeover was Robert Marawa.
Let's go!
And Tando Manana, #MSW in France.
Yeah, leaving tonight. Looking forward to it. Tando Manana and myself will be bringing you all the latest coming through. There'll be crossings across the various Prime Media radio stations and platforms, and we'll send you through some social media videos, whatever happens, whether it's from training to the camp itself. Hey, trust us. We're hoping to have a great time, but also to have a very, very influential time as far as the happenings down on the ground. It is #MSW. And as we talk about rugby, Captain Johnny Sexton also believing that Saturday's World Cup quarter-final against New Zealand will be the biggest challenge that the current island team have faced so far. Sexton was part of the squads that lost the World Cup quarter-finals, believe it or not, back in 2011, 2015, and also 2019, but says that he thought it would not weigh on his players. All right, we'll come back to that story in a second, though. Let's also remind you that Coach Andy Farrell has guided his team to the top of the world rankings over the past 4 years. But to clinch a maiden World Cup title, Ireland will first have to achieve what has now not been proven possible: win a game in the tournament's knockout stages. So that has been a big, big problem for them. Doesn't look like it's going to be changing anytime soon. So good luck to all the teams. It's a big quarterfinal weekend, I can tell you that much. We're certainly looking forward to it.
This Friday the 13th, be very afraid. As Robert Marawa and Tando Manana take over the streets of France. Catch Marawa Sports Worldwide live at the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals.
And he scores a fantastic try.
Kickstarting all the action with a special live broadcast on Friday, 13 October,
South Africa have their bonus point try.
and again on Monday, 16 October, featuring all the exclusive interviews and the all-day live crossings on various shows.
Now they're on the line.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Rugby World Cup Takeover with Robert Marawa and Tando Manana. #MSW in France.
All right, #MSW in France, yeah. Back in 98, it was a case of CIA France, but that was for football. Talking about football. He's often referred to as the Itchy Fingers chairman in the league. The Chili Man is what other people would love to call him. But I tell you what, very few are as passionate as this man is. Extremely passionate about his team, extremely. And here's a man who worked insanely hard to overcome his circumstances and also background to become a success story. Today, I want to tap into a little bit of that background, his mind, and also the latest as far as what's happening with this club, and also just him from a football perspective. I don't want this to be a purely, we are talking about Chippa United only. No. We've spoken about Chippa United a lot with him. I haven't spoken to him in a while. But today I want to get a holistic picture of where he is, what his ambitions are. What else does he want to do? What does he want to pursue? You know, there was a stage I thought he was going to be the next Safa president, and he pulls out of the election. Hey, pulls out. And I'm thinking, he has a failed chance of getting somebody young who understands and is excited about football. So he'll tell me about that. Those are the kind of things that I want to know today. But you tell me as well. You send us your WhatsApp voice notes. I want to also understand who Chippa Mpengesi really is. And hopefully he won't fire us here on MSW. He's got every power that he has in his hand. Hey, he's a firing man, this one. Fires from our own show. So, Chippa United boss, Chippa Mpengesi, an absolute pleasure, man, to have you on the show. Hey, good evening, welcome.
No, thanks, Robs, man. It's good to be here in this nice place of Prime Media. I mean, it's a world-class studio. I've never dreamed that one day I'll be in such a beautiful place.
Wow, and you fit so well, though. Excuse the pun, fit. I'm sure you fit into a lot of your clothes, though.
Yeah. Look, everything is new, Rob. They say in Xhosa, kukuko thandayo. So if the aging one, the one who likes, but I mean, I refuse to be aging. You know, this year, one of my resolutions for 2023 was that, you know, as a public figure, as a role model to many, let me do something different, Rob, you know, because, you know, as owner of a sports business, a sports also that promotes a healthy life, you know, a healthy look. One day when I watch some of repeats, you know, you see when the TV captured you and, I mean, captured me.
Yeah.
I look at that Mkaba, hey, Rob, I was not proud of myself. I was really not proud, man. It was like, hey, this man maybe he runs a Chisanyama business or something else, you know, or tavern or whatever. So I said, no. Something has to be done. You know, I can't be really overtaken by they're old men, chairmen. They are very older than me, but when you look at them, you know, they look smart, they wear smart. So I said 2023 is the year that I want to do things different, Rob. And thanks to that decision.
Yes.
And I mean, today I reap the fruits of that. I live healthy life. I feel good. I feel younger, you know.
I can see that. And obviously, anybody that's watching on the YouTube channel, you can testify to it. And that's why I had to ask you, because it would be a miss of me not to ask you everything that everybody can see anywhere around the world, is that Chippa Mpengesi is half the man that he used to be. Literally. So what is the secret? What have you done? How many kilos have you lost?
Look, Robert, I've lost close to 35 kilograms.
Wow.
You know, of course, it's been a journey. I'm still targeting to lose more. But also, you know, I've changed a lot of my lifestyle, you know, living a lot of things that I've cut in my life. I've started now a new things, new cultures, walking, you know, going to gym, and of course taking a little bit backseat also in terms of my day-to-day running. I'm sure now you don't hear a lot of dramas, even at Chippa United these days, because I'm not there. But thanks, of course, to this new life, because also my anger levels now have dropped, you know.
Have they gone down?
They got down. So maybe these coaches that you see now, it look like for the first time we might have
stability.
Stability, and the coach who finishes a season, you know. So
which of the two, though? Which of the two? Because the one, Morgan Mamila says, and I quote, "I just hope and pray that I will finish the season with Chippa." That's what he said.
Look, Robert, he's a head coach, and you know, Morgan, we like him. Of course, we've just beefed up now the team by appointing a technical director. I mean, we, as you know, that Vilakazi is more experienced in terms of coaching than Morgan. But we had to support Morgan, because Morgan is our project. He's a man who never thought that one day he will be a coach. So sometimes we ought to protect our project. So the role of Vilakazi is not only to focus on the first team, is to focus on our development, build, the structures for the next 3 years. Of course, assist, in so that we can get good result. Because one thing that I don't wish to see this season is to see Chippa United fighting for relegation, but there are good signs now, Rob, that as long as we can keep the rhythm, the pace that we are in, that there are chances that we are not going to fight for relegation, thanks to both of them. So now that Kanu is there, we call him Kanu, the less interference to the club. I mean, there's a less interference from our side in terms of telling the coaches and advising, because now we know we've got
the bad habits that you used to. So you can use the platform to admit, because you're semi-admitting to say, no, you're not going to be interfering as much. So there's an admission to say you're going to try and keep away.
Yeah, Robert, by the way, you appoint the technical team, to do the job. Like other men once said to me, when you breed the dogs, or when you have dogs for them to bark, so you can't start now go and bark yourself, know. So, yes, it was one of those. I don't want to say bad habits, it's a passion, Robert, because as you know, this fight of relegation is not a nice one, So when you see your team now fighting for relegation, it's difficult to pretend as if nothing is happening. I mean, you've seen, for instance, the likes of Maritzburg giving Fadlu, a time, because everyone was, they were afraid actually to take a decision, because they thought, this thing of firing is not helping, but one thing, Rob, you cannot fold your hands when things are not going your way. But there's a say that they say you can't continue doing things in a certain way and expect same way
and expect different results.
You know what I mean? So that's why now you see there are a lot of improvement changes that we've done. Beside to bring the technical director, including also the way we signed this season, I think there was some of the there was a balance, So you see, our team is balanced. Of course, I think we still need a cover for striking force. We went there to advertise for some of the positions in terms of playing personnel.
I saw that. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
And what was the outcome of those auditions? I mean, it looked like you were auditioning for idols.
Yeah, Rob. Things. This is 2023. We can't continue to do things like we're doing in 1990, early 2000.
Did people submit? Did they come forward? Who did you get from those auditions?
The response was very good. Of course, we're looking for a left back. Okay. There were 2 or 3 international players who came, but I think the one who passed the test was the one who was coming from Mamelodi Sundowns. Just I can't remember the name. There's a new boy that we've just signed. I know my team, they are going to make that announcement. He's a left back. He's a very good one. I was phoned by Coach Rulane and them to say, hey, please, we see that you are looking for, we've got this player. Please look at him because it doesn't look like he will play soon. So I think the coaches, they looked at him, but now I'm told that he's ready to start.
I mean, getting a guy like Ronaldo Marman, I mean, wow, what a player.
Yes.
What a player to come through. He was available. Craig Martin was available. And we saw their combination in the recent game that you had. What's the long-term plan? I mean, yes, some are loan, but outright?
Yes, both of those players, Pirates, released to us. So Martin, of course, he was released, but there were some small money that were to pay for Ronaldo, you know. But he belongs to us. A player that we only have one loan from Pirates is the Musele boy.
Yes.
The centre mid. Other than that, we don't have loans because Coach Morgan is not believing in the loan players, which is I support that. But unfortunately, you know, you must have a balanced team. As you can see, this Musele he has brought a lot of stability, and we've also signed this Baraka from Tanzania. He's also a dynamic player, very good. I mean, he reminds me of Thabo Mngomeni. You know, he's a very good thinker. He's comfortable on the ball. I mean, we also saw now the revival of Kamwendo Elmo. Yes.
The Namibian.
The Namibian. You know, now we see the good partnership between him and Memela.
Yes.
You know, Memela is a very good number 10. You see, we've got Lebitso, Tabiso there, who's very good, and we've got Mulenga now, who's also doing well. Roscoe Peterson, and I mean, our goalkeeper now, this Stanley, the Nigerian, is also another revelation. I mean, we were crying out, as you know, that this China from Pirates, he was our third goalkeeper, you know. I cried foul when I saw him now, you know, what he's doing, he's been doing. I felt like the coaching staff of that time failed us, you know, for giving him a chance. But, you know, Rob, in football, it's like that, you know.
When I come back from the break, I want to find out what your thoughts are on Nuchina, because he was here yesterday. I made mention of the fact that you're going to be coming onto the show, and his face changed. And I said, what's wrong? Find out.
Good evening, Rob and Mr. Mpengesi. Firstly, Rob, I just want to compliment the chairman for assembling a very strong, well-balanced squad this season. And also, I think the man who's leading the team is a true leader, Roscoe Peterson. I normally call him Mr. 90 Minutes, no mistake. But Chairman, I think there's a player there who I don't think gets enough recognition for the work rate that he puts in. I think jersey number 28, Utabiso Libitso. And I just want you to maybe share your thoughts about the player with the shareholders who haven't watched him play. And lastly, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to find out where is the club's legend, Andile Mbenyane? Is he still with the team or not? Thank you so much. Tebogoye.
Tebogo, thank you very much indeed. If you're just joining us, as hashtag MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide, broadcasting live from our studios at 947. You can catch us on Rise FM, Vuma FM, Sowetan Live, and wherever you are in the country, around the continent and the world, this is the place to be as we count down to a big weekend when it comes to rugby. Tebogo, we hear you loud and clear. My guest tonight, Chippa Mpengesi, making his first time appearance at the show here in Sandton. Well, I don't even know if I can still call him Chippa Mpengesi. It was the person I'm seeing now is not Chippa Mpengesi. It's a better version of Chippa Mpengesi. Let me start with the legend. He says Andile, is he still around? What's happening with him?
Yes, no, Andile is still part of the team. I think it's his last year now as a player. There's a program where now we're starting him to help him in terms of integrating to the coaching staff, but he's there motivating players. He's, of course, is oldish now. The age is no longer on his side, but he's there supporting the coaching team. And this player he's talking about is right. He's a very good player. And if he notices, he's starting all the games now, Tabiso Lebitso. Yes. And I believe that he's heading to the right direction. He's one of our surprise packages for this season.
But he talked about Roscoe Peterson. I mean, here's a guy, he's probably about 34 years old.
Yes.
We've seen him. I just thought, no offense to Cape Moya, that he was being wasted there.
Yes.
Because we had seen him at Ajax, the guy that made appearances at SuperSport United, etc. But having watched him this season, what's going on there?
Yeah, it's been all of us, Rob. We were really surprised, you know, and happy for him. This season, man, is like it reminds me of that Roscoe. Remember, he's part of the team of the crew that promoted Chippa United back in 2010, 2011. You know, he was one of those youngsters who made that history. But then SuperSport snatched him, and then he disappeared for many years, as you are rightfully say. When I saw him now at Cape Umoya, I also felt the same with that. This talent is wasted. You know, it took time for him to integrate, to get back now to understand PSL again. He's our captain, and we are very pleased and we are happy with him now as a centre back. We're very solid. He's comfortable on the ball. I mean, he's a good leader also. Yes.
I think all the years that he's gathered all the experience, he knows about managing players. He knows about managing a technical team. He knows about managing supporters. He knows about managing youngsters, integrating them into the senior team as well. So I think you've got somebody, man. He's been fascinating. And if he's listening, please, Roscoe, we love what we see. We certainly do love what we see because we love footballers who show time and time again that write me off at your own peril, and we're definitely not writing him off. Yeah. You said quite accurately, just quickly back on Usipo's case, China, the goalkeeper, and you're saying that he was your number 3 choice.
Yes.
Gets to Pirates,
yeah,
and he's number 1. I mean, he's put Abom Poncha and Abob Teles, everybody to the bench.
Rob, I've got even more, and I've shared with him when he came, when we play 1-1. Can I tell you something, Robert? He didn't want to sign for Paris. I took him there. You know, these players sometimes when you are there, hey, I want to wait for an agent, negotiate money, so I'm not happy with this. And on the other hand, Paris said, hey, here's a transfer fee, if the player signs immediately, you know, we release whatever we agreed. Yo, Robert, I will never forget that day. The boy was so stubborn. He didn't want to sign. He said, no, Chairman, I can't. My agent said, no, I'd rather go back. Because this thing happened at a short time. I remember getting a call from UMK Umpumi, say, hey, come with this, your goalkeeper, man, I've got a good deal for you. And I jumped up because I thought, my number 3, because number 3, you know, is one of those, I don't want to say liabilities, but one of those, you know, that you are paying them for.
You're not guaranteeing him game time.
You're not guaranteeing for game time because, I mean, our coach was Clayt. Clayt was not rating him at all. According to Clayt, that boy was very poor. You know, he was not a good goalkeeper. And remember, I'm in Cape Town. The team is in Port Elizabeth. Unfortunately, I don't have that privilege of even watching the training.
Sure.
So, but when then Pumi said, hey man, I need a player from you. Personally, I took the player myself. I went to get to Paris. When I got there, I signed my part as but then it was for his time to sign. Hey, Robert. I said, please, man, please, no. I think I was even seeing for the first time.
Yeah.
In terms of personal. I had to promise him with everything, you know, for him to sign.
Was the deal not good though?
No, the deal, I'm sure the deal was improved. Because remember, the deal was improved. Even for me, that's why I praised him. I say at least, you know, somebody that Paris is doing a good job, you know, because they don't look at what we looked at, you know. So even Paris, because it was that time, Ponjane, there was no second goalkeeper. There was, you know, in Ponjane time when there were a lot of errors. So I think Ofori was injured also at that time. You know,
Richards had a long injury.
So there was a crisis at Paris, and even some of us were even thinking, hey, but we will not tell them. You know, hey, I'm not sure about this decision of taking this China. And China played. I think also there was a problem with Mponjane. He didn't play because maybe he performed well on the train. He played because there was no option.
Yeah.
Hey, but Rob, now see now the revelation now what has happened. So I reminded him, he said, but Chairman, you promised me with a lot of things. I said, but my friend, I was helping your career, you know.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm proud of, as a chairman of Chippa, when I watch these youngsters like your Marcos of this world, your Lochis, China, and others, many of them, I feel like, Rob, I've done something good for them. And I wish they can appreciate that. In fact, I even told even Rulani, the coach Rulani. You remember Rulani?
You fired him.
I took no. He was loaned to us by Paris. Remember, he was not coaching. So at least we gave him that confidence. You know what I mean? As a person. No, we didn't fire. No, we didn't fire him. The contract was the loan deal was expired.
No, your situations are very complicated, so we won't even get into the detail. But I get what you're saying. But do you not regret then the decision? Do you not regret the decision that what was seen as a third choice keeper at Chippa United is now first choice keeper, doing very well? As I said, Melusi Mpengesi, in my eyes, he was the next best thing. Pirates got him. He's not even featuring right now because of the very same player. Do you regret it?
No, can I tell you what I regret?
Yeah.
Maybe the amount I charged them. You know,
what, too low?
I think so, versus his quality and what he's doing for Paris. And for me, I thought that amount was high because, I mean, the player, I thought Paris was really generous to me.
Yeah.
I said, man, the chairman, he likes me, he loves me, that he want to give me money, you know. But
but you think it's too low now?
Of course.
I mean, how much do they give?
No, I can't discuss those things, Robert. But
okay, can I switch off your mic? Then you can just tell me.
No, Robert, I can't. But you know what? I'm happy for China. And I was even very pleased when I saw what he did on the final. And you know, sometimes, Robert, in football, sometimes I don't want to say we take a wrong decision or we gamble, because I watched their game against the Botswana team where Ofori was taken on the last minute to save penalties. Because I'm sure somebody they thought, China is not he can't save these penalties. And guess what? You know what happened?
Yeah.
So that boy's got a big heart. You know, he's one of the bravest human beings, players that I've ever worked with. He's very confident. It's just so unfortunate that, as I said, I didn't have time to be with him. But of course, I blame the coaches of that time, you know. But, you know, Robert, there are a lot of these stories in football. Every team will share a different story about the player who was there and then he was not taken serious and then ended up signing for another team. Sometimes you see them buying back the same player, you know, who was there. So it's a football journey, you know. But I laugh with Pirates. Of course, I also praise them to say, you know, their eye is sharp, you know, and they did well on chain.
All right. Before we wrap the conversation around coaches and the team, because I want to get now to the bigger issues. I don't know if I see Chippa Mpengesi as the next PSL chairman. I don't know if I see him as the next president of Safa. I don't know where I see him. But let's take a couple of questions, though, that have to do with the coaching department.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa, and good evening to your guest, Ubaba Chippa Mpengesi, ukhuluma nesibongeleni wakamkhwani kamgaya Matsafeni. Mr. Marawa, let me first applaud Ubaba Chippa for bringing back Ubaba Morgan Mamela to Chippa United, because it's look like he's the only person who understands Chippa United in and out, Mr. Marawa. And the idea of bringing in a young top coach like Uvusi Vilagazi, I think it was one of the best decisions the chairman has ever taken since he has been the owner of Chippa United. What I want to know from him, what he expects from the team. Does he got the mandate for the coach to finish in the top 8, or they are fighting for a survival with the DSTV Premiership? Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show.
Thank you, Sibongeleni. The mandate will come to in a second. I want to couple it with this question so that he can answer both together.
Hi, Rob, and also hi to Mr. Mpengesi. Let me first congratulate you for saving the team from being relegated last season. And I look at you as a person that takes risks. You took a risk in building this club, which has grown so big. That was the first risk that you took. The second one was moving the club from its base in Cape Town to Eastern Cape. And I may also just remind you that you moved the club from where it was to a turf where Bushbucks used to dominate, used to command big support. And I just want to applaud you for that. You've done very well. And that is the bright side of Chippa as a club. But there is just one side of it that I think we've spoken about it for years, the removal of coaches. That's just one thing that I've never gotten to understand. What triggers you to get rid of a coach? I know maybe one will say, no, the status is worth so much, but I mean, what is it that causes you to leave or to cause the coach to leave your team? Otherwise, you've done a great job, Mr. Mpengesi. At your age, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Kaizer Mtaung, Ivan Khoza, and the likes. We really applaud you. You've taken a big risk, and you've ensured that you will push through. Well done, young man.
Yeah, well done, young man. He's even younger today, I can tell you. I can reassure you that. What triggers you? I know earlier you mentioned the anger part. And I know that I've read a story somewhere where your former schoolmate mentioned that, yes, you do have a short temper. We are sheshukwata. And, you're an angry person who, even at school, you would fight a lot. You were a smart kid. You were either number 1 or number 2 in class. You were going to go study. You were going to become a lawyer.
Yeah.
Chippa Mpengesi. But the anger in you was the biggest problem.
Yeah, look, Rob, that part, I'm a very nice person. But I think, all our backgrounds, our upbringing, sometimes as we grow up, they haunt us somewhere, somehow. But we realize later, So I think we also as a club went a certain period, of turbulence, where I call it, but I'm happy that at least we are still there. I mean, if you look at all these clubs, Robert, they had the highs and lows. Some started high, some, low. I mean, when you look at the likes of Orlando Pirates, I always like to make an example with my former club that I supported so much. They were very lows in the beginning, but now they are enjoying some of the good things. So I hope, and it looked like Chippa United, this history, this record of instability and firing of the coaches is soon gonna be a matter of the past. I'm working very hard this year. Because we want to write our own history, a good history of a club now that is respected, that is winning things. I mean, we are the only team of Eastern Cape, as the other caller said. We've occupied a big space there that used to be occupied by pushbacks. In a big province, Eastern Cape, home of legend, the province of Mandela. So we're hoping that this thing of firing and anger issues are going to be the thing of the way we talk and laugh about those things, But I mean, there is a good plan of Chippa United not now fighting for relegation, but a very strong team in Eastern Cape. Now we're about to open. We've been renovating former Absa. They used to call it Absa Stadium, but it's a Buffalo City. We've signed up a 20-year lease. We've spent a lot of money to renovate. We are planning to move things to that side of the province to have our own place. We might even change the name of the stadium to suit our Chippa United project. So,
what names have been suggested?
No. We are working, but I mean, we can't do anything that is not promoting our project.
Would you call it the Chippa United Studio?
Why not, Robbie?
Would you call it the Chippa Mpengesi Studio?
I mean, the stadium. Yeah. No, I will come to you. I know you are very creative, man. You know what I mean? Your creativity will work in here. You know what I mean? But
what's your vision, though? What would you like? There's a lot of things that happen in football, which I admire. Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium is a stadium named after a football legend.
Yes.
You hardly get that. Now, you have Moses Mabhida Stadium, politician.
Yes.
You've got Harry Gwala Stadium, politician. So where do we come back and we say either football or, a Chippa, for example? Hey, maybe you're at home. You can give us a couple of suggestions when you come back from the break. The Thursday edition of the pre-France World Cup Rugby Departure Edition, we call it. Hey man, Chippa Mpengesi, my guest. Would have imagined that he's making his first appearance here in our studios, and we do welcome that. As a man, we have healthy fights with Chippa Mpengesi. We have healthy fights. We understand each other. But he'll be angry with me, won't talk to me for a whole year. But hey, sanity prevails and we communicate. I always say it's not even about me, it's about the listener. It's about, and you get that point, which is what I respect about you. And it's probably for that point that you've also decided to beef up. You brought in a youngster, Sandiso Mpengesi, your son, to be what? To be the GM of the club?
Yes, him. Yeah, look, Rob, they need to learn, at the young age. But you don't throw them at the deep end. Give them those high position. Give them junior ones. They learn, they grow. They still report to people who are, not like family. Because one thing that I would not want to see Chippa United happens is to be a family business. When I'm saying family, there's nothing wrong to run a football team as a family, but as long as the family member is the right person for the certain position. So he's coming there because he's just graduated, he's got his degrees. Now he's learning under Lucanyo Mzinzi, who's executive director. So I'm hoping that in few years' time, Rob, he can become maybe CEO of Chippa United, but it's up to him. So I give an opportunity for him to showcase his side.
Would you fire him if he was not doing well?
Of course, yes. I mean, he's already got few warnings.
Okay.
No, Robert, that I don't play there.
It's an important position as well for him.
No, the Chippa United, Robert, I think I'm too much attached to that. I don't want anything there wrong to happen there. So he has already received a few warnings. But of course he's a son, but I told him that you are a son at home, not there at work.
So these warnings, are they verbal or are they written warnings?
No, verbal.
Okay.
When the dad is angry. But tomorrow as a family, we shake hands. One thing about me, I address matters as they come. Tomorrow I'm no longer keeping those garbages. No, I'm not. I'm gifted. I'm blessed. I'm not a grudge person.
April 2022, the headlines were screaming, hey, Chippa Mpengesi running for Safa presidency. He's got his hand up for that. And then 1, 2, 3, Chippa Mpengesi withdraws his candidacy for the presidency. What was going on there?
Rob, it's a sad story, man. When you look at Safa today and PSL, it's two different worlds. Safa was a great entity back in 1995, those years. But Safa has since, gone down, I mean, we're no longer a country that is respected in terms of football. And Rob, I think I have something to offer in South African football, I've proven myself, with a Chippa, things that I've learned, So I'm one of the students of the game. I mean, now 13 years now as part of the board of governors,
Yes.
Director for PSL. We've got now this Chippa United in Eastern Cape now for the past 10 years. I mean, Bushbucks were there maybe for 2 years. Bay United was there for 1 year in this PSL era. So when it comes to, there are a lot of things that are lacking. I thought I could add, but then they came with this rule that is really not right. I don't like it, where they say if you are a chairperson of a PSL team, you can't be appointed for a position of leadership at Safa, which is not a right rule, Robert. That's why now you see Safa is run by guys now who are presidents of LFAs, who has never been exposed. I mean, not even at NFD level, I mean, when you talk of the highest level of understanding the running part of football, there's no other than PSL level. Now, if you are saying as Safa, if now you are owning a PSL, so it means a person like Brakeza, for instance, he can't run Safa, with all his wealth of experience. I mean, there's no doubt that Kaizer Chiefs, for instance, is one of the biggest brands. Yeah, Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates. But those two men, they can't be presidents of Safa. So I was stopped. I had to withdraw, Robert, because of that.
Of that ruling.
That ruling.
Yeah. But between yourself, myself, and the listener that's there, what would have been the first thing for you if Chippa Mpengesi is given the presidency of Safa? What would you have been cracking the whip on? What are the first things for you that you'd have changed? I mean, I look at this bloated NEC that they do have. There's so many people who are there. I don't even know what half of them do, but they are there. So obviously they hand over the vote when it's the voting time. But in terms of football, grassroots football, development of football of the game. But for you, what was that burning issue that Chippa Mpengesi wants to change at Safa?
No, the first priority, of course, was to cement or repair the relationship between Safa and PSL. Because, Robert, at the moment, there is no relationship. I mean, you can't have a Mamelodi Sundowns that is doing well, in our CAF Champions League. I mean, they're one of the best clubs in Africa, But then and they belong to PSL.
Yeah.
Then, but when you come to Bafana, I don't even think they're in the top 10. I'm not sure. I don't know the last rankings that I checked, you know what I mean? It's not a strong club. So it's not like there's no capacity or resources, but that problem, that crack, that division between PSL and Safa has costed the Bafana. Because I believe that early in those years of early 90s, when Bafana were doing well, these rules and laws of if you are a PSL, you can't be involved. So for me, that's the first thing. Sure. Of course, the second one was for the school sport, especially when it comes to school. I mean, the football is dead at our school. I mean, I'm talking about Eastern Cape, There's no football at all in our schools, So the development, but I think the first one I was going to start was the one of, because, I mean...
That relationship, sorry, Chippa, to come in, you're right. You're not wrong in any way. The relationship thing between Safa and the PSL is crazy. It's crazy to understand. You would think it's two entities that are being run across a border or something like that. But is that not a relationship thing between two individuals more than two entities?
Surely, that's where, Robert, for us, we were all hoping that a change can happen at Safa. Because, as I said, if you look at other previous presidents of Safa, they had a very good relationships with us. And, I mean, I've had a lot of meetings or chat discussion with our chairman, Dr. Ivan Kos. Not even one day he mentioned any beef or hating anyone or, But I'm told that the other side is different, other side is different. I mean, we also see, that goes to a regional level. As Chippa United currently in Eastern Cape, we always have problems with the regional presidents or provincial presidents. They don't see Chippa United as a big brother, that they can work with. They always try to work against us. I mean, if I can tell you things that are happening in that Buffalo City where we are now, the fight, the jealousy, especially also there at Port Elizabeth. So in Kabeja, so you say that problem at the top, it escalated down, to the bottom. So we something that I thought I would fix, and I'm still hoping and praying that one day they're gonna change that. Because if you were to ask me, Robert, which one you would wish to work to be a chairman or board member or executive member between PSL and Safa, I would say to you, without thinking twice, is Safa. I would love to be involved with Safa more than PSL, because I think PSL, there's not much there to offer, you know what I mean?
But you stand a chance, though, because in my books, with Black Leopards being relegated, you were supposed to ascend into the position of executive member of the Premier Soccer League. And I don't think executive committee member of the PSL, I don't think you're there yet. What has happened?
Hey, Robert, it's another story of another day.
This is the day. This is the day, Mr. Mpengesi.
Yeah.
Why are you not there? Because I know that there was a circular that was sent out by the Premier Soccer League trying to explain and to safeguard and to defend and protect the fact that you can't be in. David Tidiela continues.
Yeah, look, Robert, it comes from the fact that the last elections of PSL, the executive member, I missed out with one vote. Okay. So anything happens to any of the executive member there, whether he passed away, died, or a club getting relegated. Because remember, if your club is relegated from Motsepe Championship, you goes back now to the one that is Motsepe League, but you know, Motsepe to Motsepe. Yeah. That one is administered by Safa, not by. Now you don't. Yeah. You forfeit a membership of what you call it, a PSL status. So when Black Leopards was relegated, I got a lot of calls congratulating. I mean, the first one was from John Committees, the chairman of Cape Town. Hey, my friend, congratulations for surviving and welcome to executive member. You know, Black Leopards is relegated. Now you are the next one. Please, let's work nice together. I know what you can do. Of course, Robert, it was still an old season. One was waiting for that phone call, a letter, you know, inviting. That day, Robert never came. Instead, we saw Mr. Tidiela going back. Now, then the reason was, you know, he's working for another club. Remember now, once you are relegated, you can't you can't own a club again. You know, there's a cooling period. But then now, there was, there was a circular say, because now he's involved with another club, blah, 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 but he's still an executive member. But, I was looking forward though, Robert, but look.
So it's not happening though, because I think it's Article 29.1 that deals with the vacancies of the executive committee and how those will arise. We'll probably deal with that when we next have a conversation, Mr. Mpengesi. So this was a wide-ranging one. Hopefully next time we narrow it down, because I want to talk about this leadership void that is there in football and how we rely too much at times on the old guard who've done well, as you've rightfully said. But at some point, you've got to pass the baton on. And our Chippa Mpengesi of this world, or Tim Sugas of this world, or anybody of this world, Rob down at Stellenbosch, is he ready to take up the challenges? Who is ready to take up these challenges? Because for the good work to continue and not collapse, you need that handover. You need that baton exchange. It's crazy how time has flown by, Mr. Mpengesi. I really want to thank you for the time and your commitment to come here to the studio. And may you be in the top 5. You can. Just stay away. Let those two guys coach.
Thank you, Rob. I
promise. Pay their salaries.
I will do that, Robert.
Pay them on time.
No, I am. But with one thing about Chippa United, any of the problems that we have, you'll never hear that players are striking, are not paid, and all that. So we strive to make sure that we look after. That's why they all want to coach at Chippa United. They know how we treat people.
We're out of time. We treat people well here. You don't want to fire them. We don't want to chase them. We just want them to have a good time. Chippa Mpengesi, chairman of Chippa United. Again, thank you so much, Baba.
Thank you, Robert.
Appreciate your time. I must fly safely.
Bring me a present there in Paris.
Maybe, you never know. If I'll check out, I'll see if I can organize you a ticket that time.
That would be great.
It'll be nice of you. You're an Eastern Cape person.
Yeah.
Rugby is in your DNA.
Yebo.
Captain Wait, I told him we wish them the best of luck, absolutely. And Chippa, as you say, we'll be in touch and we'll make sure that we'll have a round 2 session with him. A lot to draw out from, as he says, a new approach for 2023.
Robert Marawa and Tando Manana take over the streets of France. Catch all the live crossings from Rugby World Cup quarterfinals. #MSW in France. Robert Marawa, live on 947.